As promised before, this is part 2 of the Cyberpower, was it GUA2600BST. I did the first video, or the unboxing and stuff like that. Now I got it on. I'm sorry it took too long. It took so long for me to get this video going, but we got hit by a terrible storm and, kind of got snowed in. I had other things to think about. Well, that's the computer. It's running. I figured out what these buttons were up here, what these markings were up here. Right there. One here is a button under to control the lighting. So if I press it just once, in this mode right here, it fluctuates the lights. It goes through all the colors. If I press it for 3 seconds and let go, it changes light mode. Some of them fade in, fade out of the same color. This one, I could press the button just quickly and change all the colors. If I press it for another 3 seconds and let go again, it'll choose one color and pulse it. And I can press the button to change it. Press the button 3 seconds, hold it again. It'll use that color and pulse it again just a little bit faster. If I press it and hold it again, let it go, it'll cycle all the colors. And what I find is really cool is there's a light strip right there. And as the colors change, some of the lights over here change differently, and you can see what color's coming up next. So that's pretty cool. Then the other button under here is over here, and I've already made a mistake. It's a reset. You just tap it once, it resets the whole machine. So I've already made the mistake of pressing the same button. Otherwise, I mean, it's running pretty good. I mean, this video really quick is just going to show. I'm going to show you startup and shutdown times, everything else like that, how it looks. Some impressions now that I've had it for a little bit. So I do have some pros and cons about the whole thing. So when I went to Best Buy, that fan right there, I didn't notice until recently. That fan right there that's on the GPU, not the GPU, the CPU, was not the same fan that was on it at Best Buy. At Best Buy, there was a different type of heat sink. It was like more like a heat sink that was just touching the CPU, and then it had copper tubes coming up, and the heat sink was standing up, and then there was a fan on it. Otherwise, it all looks the same as when I showed it to you. Now it's on, but I do have the computer on. One thing that sucked was the mouse. Let's go for the mouse first. The mouse is pretty good. You can flip it over and pop this open right here. I'm trying to do as much best I can. There's 5 weights in there. You can take them out, or put some in, put some out. Put some weight on your mouse. See, I didn't put that back in right. So your mouse is weighted. The DPI settings are right here. These are your extra buttons. This also counts as a second click, just in case your finger rolls off. Everything feels really good with the mouse. I really, really like it. But the keyboard I don't have to show you, because right out of the box the keyboard didn't work. I ended up getting a Corsair. Specifically, I have the box down here. Specifically, I went out and got Corsair K55 RGB. So I'm not really going to say much about this, but I haven't had a problem with the keyboard. So the problem I was having with the keyboard was I would go to press Shift and press T to capitalize a letter. Some of them didn't work, some of them did work. Then sometimes this Shift, and I go across the board to press T, like that would work, but this Shift and that T wouldn't work. And then both shifts wouldn't work to get the question mark. So I called them up. They gave me a very hard time. Pretty much at one point they told me, let me see. At one point they told me, like, we're not really going to help you much, but you need to kind of return your whole computer. I'm like, I'm not returning the whole computer just for a keyboard problem. So, I don't really know what's going on with that. I just bought this keyboard for now. I'm very happy with it. But otherwise, let's do a shutdown and a startup. Ever since I turned this guy on, I haven't had any problems with updates. I can tell you what, though, the updates were pretty far behind, so it took a while for me to update and get everything going. So let's do a shutdown and restart. You can kind of do your own count there, and once it shuts down, yeah, I have a crappy screen. Kind of working myself up to upgrading everything. I did notice that thing I showed you up top. Oh, by the way, well, let's do the it's shut down right now. Here's a quick restart. Let's do that first. So by the time, it takes longer than some computers I've had, but it is a gaming computer, so I think it takes a little bit longer than most. It does take a fair amount of time. My laptop my laptop gets to the pin screen like almost immediately. And there we go. By the time I put my pin in, and there you go. Windows is started. Everything else. I heavily, because it's not on the computer at first, I heavily suggest going to the AMD app, also the MSI app, because you have an MSI motherboard. Going to the MSI website, they have an automatic install driver, a program that automatically detects and installs, asks you if you want to install your drivers for that. And the same thing with AMD. I'll show you the MSI gaming app in a minute, but actually I'll show you that now. I got a bunch of things that start up, because I usually, honestly, I wake up in the morning, or whenever I decide to start playing, I turn this thing on and walk away. So I'll show you the MSI app first. So here's the MSI gaming app, and I mean, honestly, here, I'll show you just another gripe that I had about the whole thing. So I press the LED, this thing comes on. It's the M8 LED, and I thought, like, oh, it's another way to control the LEDs inside the whole thing, the light that you see. But it's not. So if I turn it on and show you, there's an LED strip on the motherboard. Oh, it's up here. Turn that on, and you could barely see it, but there's a little light behind. So I got it set on red right now. You see that? Well, because I think my camera shows it as orange, but I got it set on red right now. It's white, and white, and white. But down there in the back of the corner, you can see it. It's a little red piece. And it just goes up. Just a little bit. You figure that maybe I'm not going to take this thing apart over maybe an LED that's not placed correctly, but I just turned it off. I mean, they could have placed that correctly. So that was another thing. This kind of thing is whole obsolete kind of thing. So that's that part. What the great thing is, you have an overclock mode and a gaming mode. Kind of pushes, this will push back past your 3200 megahertz, and this will push you at 32 megahertz. It's a quick way if you want to overclock safely. I personally don't like overclocking, especially, honestly right now it's just fine the way it is. So it has LED settings if the LED was set properly, or honestly if it's a small little strip, that's kind of stupid. But OSD is in-game. You get the hub like over here or wherever you would like to set it. I'll show you your CPU for you. Well, you pretty much see everything here, the temperature and everything else like that. But it's only for games that are enabled, and there's a very short list. Right here is iRest mode. It kind of dulls the screen out, makes it look very orange. Silent mode will also dump. Silent mode is another one of these modes here. So I'll let you know that it's VR ready. I don't know what that is because that's never popped up. The Mouse Master, I haven't really touched it too much, but it kind of gives you a whole way to change DPI and stuff like that for your mouse permanently. And then gaming hotkeys, which I'm not going to touch because I don't have anything really that I want to hotkey. So that's the MSI gaming app that came on the computer. And then we'll tackle the Radeon settings, which I highly, highly recommend downloading. So let's see if it pops up. X that out. So here's this. I had to download this. So if I could check for updates right from here, one click, check for updates. It'll let me know if there's anything available to update. It tells me your Radeon software is updated. Automatically downloads it, installs it, everything else. Screen flickers a little bit, restart the computer, everything's fine. Here's one great thing about this. I haven't really tested it yet, but the Connect. I'm sorry. I think that's the wrong one. Or the Relive. It's one of them where you can hook up your phone through the Radeon app. I haven't messed with it at all. It's here somewhere. It's one of these, I know that. Video. So I mean, until I can find that. So right from here, you can look at the games that, you know, it already recognizes, and you could configure within your computer every game, which really isn't much different than some other the other stuff. NVIDIA does the same thing, and even computers and laptops. My laptop had it for NVIDIA. You can change your Vivid setting. I always like Vivid. Relive. So right from here, which I'm really not going to test too much. You guys can mess with it because I use OBS and stuff. So you can record, stream, have an overlay from here. You know, what, so you can see your camera and system info. You set it to your top right. Show your system info in game. Top right. Show your camera if you're streaming or recording, or custom overlay if you end up setting it up streaming. It actually has all of this stuff ready to go. You can stream right to Netflix or Netflix, Facebook, YouTube, Mixer, which I have a Mixer, Twitch, and both of those I have set up. I'm not really going to mess with those just yet. But right from here, your accounts and everything, you can connect from here so you can use it on the other side. Resource Center. Anything you want to learn about. I'm sorry, my finger is in the way. Anything you want to learn about the program or any of your hardware or software, there's videos here. So I actually watch most of these videos. And then you go to your display. You can set all your GPU scaling and everything from here. You can set a custom resolution if you have to. You can arrange your displays, your desktop color system and stuff like that. And then you can go to your system settings and it'll tell you everything about. So I upgraded. It's a free upgrade. I upgraded to the Adrenaline Edition, which that's the Relive and the Connect. It tells you your software version, your core clock, your system memory, which video card you have, and how much memory you have, and everything else. And and then you go to your software tab. It has everything, and then you can just click it and copy it, just in case you have to share it with somebody, or copy all and paste it, just in case you do have a problem and somebody's asking you for your information. Besides that, here's all of your information right there on one page. I mean, even down to your revision IDs, your bus types, your BIOS dates, everything is right here, which I really, really like. If I go home, AMD link, there it is. So you turn your AMD link on and you add a device and you download the AMD link app. You scan this, and right from your phone, you're able to see your frames per second, your temperature right there on your phone. So all you can do is just set your phone up right here, which I've been doing every once in a while. And I've been watching my frames and stuff like that, and my temp and everything. And it has, I mean, I definitely, just look it up. Look up A and B link. There's much more, you know, that I can honestly explain to you, because I haven't really messed with it too much, and I'm not too savvy with explaining things like that. So besides that, I mean, keeping your computer up to date and everything, they've made it really, really easy. This thing looks great. I haven't had any problems with it. It's good that I've done I wanted to do my second video right away and do an initial startup, but you know, honestly, I think it's done better this way. Now that I've had a couple days, a week on the machine, it hasn't given me any problems. The only problem I really had was with the keyboard. Keyboard sucked. It was really hard gaming and using the shift button. I mean, in chat and stuff like that was really the hardest, because, you know, I go to capitalize because I've just got it in my head that I have to I capitalize every sentence, and my sentences ended up being so botched. You know, people would think I was stupid. And then some of the buttons wouldn't work at all. So, I mean, like some games like that have a heavy amount of keys and stuff, yeah, just didn't work. But otherwise, it looks great. Once I get an updated screen, it'll be a little bit better. I've already played some games. I could max out most games on ultra or high. I've streamed already. Streaming is beautiful, even on some other games, which is going to be my second video. I'm going to open up the OBS there and then start recording from the system, and you're going to be able to see like some benchmarks and see how things rolling and stuff like that after I post this video. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, the last thing I forgot to talk about. The Zalman headset. One thing I noticed after I registered the machine, I got an email. I say, hey, thank you for buying. You get a free headset. So I actually got this in today. It was like, I forgot what day I posted the first video. The first video is literally I walked in the front door and started recording. So then until now, that night, I registered the machine, and they said they're going to send me over a free headset. I mean, it's nothing special. It sounds great. People can hear me just fine. It's a free headset. So on top of you buying a system, pretty good system for the price, you get a mouse and a keyboard and a headset eventually. Like I said, I had a problem with the keyboard. But hey, I mean, you're pretty much set up. All you need to do is get your screen. Here's the box for the headset. Literally just got into it. It's a Zalman gaming headset. ZM HP S300. I mean, it sounds pretty good. It's nothing special. So I'm going to clean up this video and post it. Going to be the part 2. And then I'm going to set up my computer and do that other video either tonight or tomorrow, the part 3, where I'm going to play some games, benchmark it, record it, and let's see what's go from there. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.